Many adults over 65 are told that walking is the best exercise they can do. Walking is excellent, but it does not fully replace strength work. One simple exercise, done on a firm bed, can target muscles that walking may not challenge enough. I'm Catherine Blake, and today I want to explain an exercise called the hip bridge. The American Academy of Orthopaedic Surgeons includes the hip bridge in its spine conditioning guidance because it works the buttock muscles, hamstrings, and muscles supporting the lower back. Now, I want to be precise. A bridge is not better than walking for heart health, endurance, or overall daily movement. But for strengthening certain muscles around your hips and trunk, it provides something ordinary walking may not provide: focused resistance. And after 65, that distinction becomes increasingly important. I remember an older gentleman who walked almost every morning. He assumed his legs were strong because he could walk for nearly 30 minutes. But getting out of a low chair was becoming harder. Climbing stairs felt less steady. He was walking regularly, but some of the muscles responsible for producing power around his hips were not being challenged enough. Think of walking as keeping a car moving down a level road. Strength exercises are more like preparing that same car to climb a hill. Today, I'll show you 7 important things to understand about the hip bridge, including how to perform it, the mistakes to avoid, and how to know when you should stop. First, understand what walking does and does not do. Some people believe that if they walk every day, every important leg muscle is getting enough strength training. In reality, walking and strengthening have different jobs. Walking is excellent aerobic activity, while your muscles also benefit from exercises that make them work against resistance. In fact, physical activity guidance for people 65 and older includes aerobic activity, muscle strengthening, and balance work, rather than treating any one of these as a complete program. Muscles are a little like a team of workers. Walking keeps the team busy, but certain workers may never have to lift anything particularly heavy. The bridge gives some of those workers a more focused job. That brings us to the muscle. I especially want you to notice the gluteus maximus, the large muscle in your buttocks. Many people think this muscle matters mostly for appearance. It actually helps extend the hip, an important movement when you rise and move your body upward or forward. During a bridge, research measuring muscle activity has shown that the gluteal muscles can be strongly recruited. Think of your glutes as part of the engine behind your hips. If the engine is not being challenged, other areas may try to do more of the work. This is why technique matters. Lie on your back on a firm, stable bed with your knees bent and your feet resting flat. Keep your feet roughly hip-width apart. Let your arms rest comfortably beside you. Gently tighten your abdominal muscles. Then squeeze your buttocks and slowly lift your hips. You do not need to lift extremely high. Your goal is controlled hip movement, not making the biggest arch possible. Pause briefly, then slowly lower your hips again. Start with about 5 repetitions. If that feels comfortable and your clinician has not given you restrictions, you can gradually build from there. The next point is where many people get caught off guard. A higher bridge is not automatically a better bridge. People sometimes push their hips toward the ceiling because they assume more movement means more benefit. Instead, they may arch excessively through the lower back. Imagine opening a door using the wrong hinge. The door still moves, but the stress goes somewhere it was not supposed to go. Your hip muscles should be doing much of the work. Keep the movement comfortable and controlled. If you mainly feel strain or sharp pain in your lower back rather than muscular effort around the hips and thighs, stop and have your technique or suitability checked. Now pay attention to speed. Another common assumption is that completing repetitions quickly makes an exercise more effective. For most older adults learning this movement, control is far more useful than rushing. Lift smoothly. Pause. Lower smoothly. Your nervous system and muscles work together a little like electrical wires communicating with a motor. A controlled movement gives you time to coordinate that signal. Throwing the hips up and dropping them back down replaces muscle control with momentum. And Keep breathing. Exhale gently as you lift and breathe normally as you lower. Do not deliberately hold your breath. This becomes particularly important for anyone managing blood pressure or cardiovascular problems. If you are following along and you appreciate exercises that are explained slowly and safely, you can leave a simple yes in the comments. It helps me know this kind of practical explanation is useful to you. Now we come to something even more important. Progression. People often believe an exercise stops working unless they immediately add heavy resistance. That is not necessary. Your first progression can simply be better control. Begin with 5 comfortable repetitions. Over time, you might gradually work toward 8 or 10 if appropriate for you. You can also pause at the top slightly longer rather than rushing into harder versions. Think of strength like building a staircase. You want one secure step before adding the next one. Do not jump straight into single-leg bridges simply because a basic bridge becomes comfortable. A single-leg version is considerably more demanding. Your goal after 65 is not to prove how difficult an exercise you can tolerate. Your goal is to create enough challenge to improve while keeping the movement safe and repeatable. But this is where the conversation gets more serious. A bed exercise can feel automatically safe because you cannot fall from a standing position. That does not mean it is appropriate for every person. If your mattress is very soft or unstable, performing the movement there may make good positioning difficult. A firm exercise surface may be more suitable if you can safely get down to and up from it. And if you have recently had hip or spine surgery, have a fracture, severe or unexplained back or hip pain, or have been given movement restrictions, do not assume this exercise is appropriate simply because orthopedic conditioning programs use bridges. Your surgeon or physical therapist should clear exercises for your individual situation. Stop if you develop sharp or increasing pain, dizziness, chest discomfort, or unusual shortness of breath. Exercise should challenge the muscles, but pain is not a badge of progress. Finally, do not make the mistake of replacing all of your walking with bridges. This may be the most important part of the message. Walking supports cardiovascular fitness, endurance, mobility, and general health. The bridge provides focused strengthening. Balance exercises address another piece of the puzzle. They work together like 3 legs supporting a stool. Remove one leg, and the system becomes less complete. Current guidance for adults 65 and older recommends a combination of aerobic activity, muscle strengthening activity, and activities that improve balance. Nutrition supports that work as well. If you struggle to get adequate protein from ordinary food, a protein supplement may help alongside an appropriate diet and exercise program. It is support, not the solution. Talk with your doctor or dietitian before using supplements, especially if you have kidney disease or another condition affecting your diet. So remember the main idea. The hip bridge is valuable because it targets muscles around your hips and trunk that ordinary walking may not strengthen enough. It can be performed without standing, requires no special equipment, and can be started gently. Walking still matters. Strength still matters. Balance still matters. Now you know that staying active after 65 is not simply about taking more steps. It is about giving your body different kinds of movement so that your heart, muscles, and balance systems continue to receive the work they need. If the bridge is appropriate for you, try 5 slow, controlled repetitions on a firm, stable surface. Notice where you feel the muscles working. Never force through pain, and build gradually. Subscribe if you find these calm, practical health explanations useful. Share this with someone over 65 who walks regularly but has not considered strength training, and tell me in the comments how you stay active.